What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Figure Files. And yes, for everybody wondering, I am still super annoyed, super blown about that NFC Championship game. I wouldn't necessarily mind losing to the Eagles. They're the number one seed, number one team throughout the whole NFL season. But I just wanted a real chance to compete. When you lose your third string quarterback and he can't throw the rest of the game after the very first series, it's kind of like you've got zero chance. And then when your fourth string quarterback comes in, turns the ball over, and gets a concussion and gets taken out, you've got no shot. So I can put a big asterisk on this loss. This is probably the only NFC Championship one where it's just like, man, I think we would have beaten them if everyone was just healthy for the whole game. So I'm going to root for the Chiefs because the Eagles fans are talking some major trash. And even though I have a strong, healthy dislike for the Chiefs for beating us back in 2019, I'd much rather see Pat Mahomes get another Super Bowl than this version of the Eagles. Anyway, we're not here to talk about the Niners. Football season's done. It's a wrap. And we'll talk about that until September, unless we get some really cool NFL figures coming from starting lineup. And hopefully they'll get reduced to $30 to start as opposed to kicking off at $50 and then dropping to $30 for the All-Star break, like the NBA starting lineup figures. And boy, if you got those figures at $50, I really feel bad for you because it's just such a huge ripoff. Now you get the figures for the price that they should have been all along. Anyway, not here to talk about NFL, not starting lineup. Today, apparently, courtesy of an email from our good friends at Hasbro, is G.I. Joe Day. And I have not at all been patiently waiting for more G.I. Joe news. We've seen live streams with Transformers, and it's really funny, and I kind of appreciate the G.I. Joe line because there's so many branches of Transformers that when they do a live stream, there may be 2 or 3 characters I'm excited about. But every time we get a G.I. Joe reveal or announcement, I know it's going to be something I care about, unless they decided to make movies off of Rise of Cobra or G.I. Joe Retaliation, in which case I'd say thank you, but no thanks. So anyway, G.I. Joe Day is today. And that means we're going to get some reveals through the various social media channels at Hasbro. Hopefully not the G.I. Joe Twitter account because it has not been updated since October 2022, which is, wow, so long ago now. Tons of G.I. Joe reveals have been announced since then. We need that Twitter page updated a little bit better. But we're going to get some more news, hopefully 3 or 4 reveals, not just some teases, but some actual, maybe prototypes, maybe some figures, maybe some shots. But that's really cool. I'm really looking forward to seeing who's in store because we got this last announcement with the Sky Striker HasLab unboxing where they kind of told us that we're going to get Agent Helix and a G.I. Joe green shirt. I'm really excited about Helix. Helix is a cool character. She's got a great design. Back when they were starting to transition to getting that 25th anniversary style into all these figures, I kind of like the fact that we were getting some new G.I. Joes from Spy Troops and the Valor vs. Venom and Spy Troops and all that stuff. I like those characters, and I was glad to see that we're getting some updated versions of some of those. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Helix because she's got an awesome design with her hair. She's got like a cool costume. She's really adept at using guns and weapons, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of accessories she comes with because she's a character they can really do some cool stuff with. And unlike some of the other modern Joes, she actually got a lot of burn at Larry Hama's IDW G.I. Joe run, so she was heavily featured. If you want to learn a little bit more about her, definitely recommend checking out those Larry Hama IDW comics of G.I. Joe. Just because they're awesome, just because Larry Hama's still writing it. But yeah, it was really fun, and she was really heavily featured throughout, right to the final issue. And the green shirts, I'm not as excited about because for me, they were just random characters. I loved all the G.I. Joe characters, so I wanted to see all these guys in the background. I didn't want to see these generic green guys running around, not doing anything of any note, just kind of dodging and weaving the poor Cobra Troopers with their terrible Stormtrooper aim, and just not doing anything of any value. The only time that I thought G.I. Joe took advantage of the wide array of characters was in G.I. Joe the movie, where there were no green shirts. It was just named G.I. Joes everywhere in the background. Hey, look, there's Footloose, there's Airtight. It wasn't just generic green shirt. But Hasbro did tease the possibility of incorporating land, sea, and air into this green shirt. So I assume we're going to get lots of different head sculpts, maybe like those shield agents from Marvel Legends where you can just swap out different head sculpts and have multiple green shirts. We've seen that with Super 7 with their generic versions of the green shirts. So that might be a way to make it more interesting. Also, with that air tease, some speculation we're going to get the jetpack possibly with these guys. That would be a way to get me on board with it as well. However, I think there is another avenue that's pretty exciting about the green shirt. As you know, rock and roll is coming, and I'm not as enthusiastic about this tweak to his design with the two-tone kind of surfer bodysuit that he's rocking. I want the classic, just all green. I'm traditional with my original 13 like that. So maybe I could cobble some of these parts from this green shirt and actually get the real rock and roll that I want. And I'll probably just use those old arms that come with this figure, but I could use the green shirt torso, and that could get me closer to the rock and roll that I really want. So hopefully that's an avenue that I can use with him. But there's so many possibilities of upcoming figures. I mean, it's just wide open. There's still a lot of figures left on that 1984 run. We're still waiting for Mutt and Junkyard, Blowtorch, Ripcord, of course the 85 series. Desperately needs Alpine, definitely needs Quick Kick. So many figures on that end as well. Still need Doc from the 83 series. Tripwire, I think they're the last two of that entire wave of Joes. I guess Airtight, maybe Wild Bill, but we need a few more figures early on. Then of course there's the 86 series. Lots of characters to pull from that front. Leatherneck, Wetsuit, Dial Tone, Mainframe, Sci-Fi, so many characters. Now we're getting General Hawk and we're getting Lowlight soon to go along with Beachhead and Sergeant Slaughter, but so many left on 86, and then of course 87, still wide open. Tunnel Rat, Quick Draw, Chuckles. I guess we're getting Chuckles, but we haven't seen anything from him. But Jinx as well. So lots of characters still in the mist. And of course, they're great characters from 88, 89, you name it, up to just about. You know, we could probably even do characters like Dawn. So there's lots of characters still left to be made. Maybe even some characters we've never seen before in the 6-inch format. I guess like all Joes, but some that have not really had a lot of figures. Maybe like a Dr. Venom, Quinn, Scarface. That'd be cool. General Flag. Really cool options if you're just going to go, hey, let's do more comic book figures. A Billy figure. That'd be really fun. That'd be really cool as well. Get a smaller version in that basic Storm Shadow outfit. So lots of cool options for this line, which I'm always excited to see. So I don't care what these reveals are because I know I'm going to be excited and looking forward to adding them to my collection. But speaking of collections, Hasbro, I really defended the G.I. Joe Classified Series line because I feel like they've really done right by us as collectors, as the fans who are invested in buying into this line wholeheartedly. And when the G.I. Joe Classified Series, Dr. Mindbender and Serpentor were revealed, quickly sold out, I said, don't worry, Hasbro is not going to let us down. They're going to come through. They're going to release these guys again. Just hold out. They'll get to us again. And then they did release them again for a second time. And because they're so essential to the G.I. Joe mythos, two major important characters in Cobra, they sold out really quickly again. But there was an opportunity to get them. But now, there's a third one. You'll have an opportunity to get Dr. Mindbender and Serpentor one more time. Don't know if this is the last time, but I definitely recommend going on there and being logged in so you can get an opportunity to get those figures ASAP. And again, Dr. Mindbender and Serpentor were two of my top 10 G.I. Joe Classified Series figures from 2022. Really amazing sculpts. Dr. Mindbender's jacked, ripped. He's got that cool monocle. His cloak doesn't quite come out as well as I would like it to, but it works because, you know, it's Dr. Mindbender. He's got these great thigh-high boots, and they've got some great sculpting on them. He comes with a ton of accessories that maybe aren't essential and necessary, but they're kind of fun in terms of this guy is the crazy mad scientist of Cobra. So he's got some brains, he's got some gadgets, he's got skulls, he's got test tubes, he's got all kinds of things, cool accessories, a cattle prod, fun stuff to use, and definitely worth getting if you can get another chance at him without paying secondary prices. And of course, Serpentor, this I command, the Cobra Emperor. His sculpt is amazing all on its own. It's got some great detailing, great texture, sculpting. His cape actually has a snakeskin pattern, which really put it over the edge for me. It's like, this is such great attention to detail. The figure itself looks great, but then you throw in the air chariot and spam, you've got Serpentor in all of his glory, ready to take on your Sergeant Slaughter and all the rest of your Joes. So make sure that you're locked in, dialed in, and ready to get these guys. I don't know how many more opportunities there's going to be to get them. So I really hope that you can get it, take advantage of it, and get these figures today. All right, so I'll probably be back later on talking about whatever reveals we get for the day, but I just want to make sure that you guys knew Serpentor, Dr. Mindbender will be back in stock on HasbroPulse.com later today. All right, so that's it for me for now. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for watching. As always, this episode of Laos Figure Files has been filed.